Morning children, welcome back to e-learning classes of PN Amarsi High School. Hope you all are safe. So let's begin our chapter number 3, Glimpses of the Past. Glimpse means a quick look or brief look. Chapter is written in a comic way, means it is a picture story. Here are some pictorial glimpses of the history of our country from 1757 to 1857. These pictures and speech bubbles will help clarify our understanding of the conditions that lead to the event known as the First War of Independence in 1857. It is written by S.D. Sawant, was born on 31st of August in Kolhapur. He has written the famous Marathi novel Mrityunjay. He was the first Marathi writer who got Murti Devi Award in 1994. He was a writer, teacher and editor. He died at the age of 62 in Goa in 2002. This lesson is written in 9 parts, namely the Martyrs, the Company's Conquest, British Rule, Ram Mohan Rai, Oppression, Dissatisfaction, the Sparks, Revolt, and at last the Fight for Freedom. Let's begin the explanation of the chapter part 1, the Martyrs. The meaning of martyrs is who die in a war. You can see a picture which is of a function in Delhi. Lata Mangeshkar sang a patriotic song, "Ae Mere Watan Ke Logo." She called upon the Indians to recall with tearful eyes the sacrifices of Indian freedom fighter. We see Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Lal Bahadur Shastri and Mrs. Indira Gandhi seated on the stage in the picture at the top. In the same frame below are given the pictures of Rani Lakshmibai, Bahadur Shah Jafar, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Lala Lajpat Rai, Bhagat Singh, Subhash Chandra Bose and Mahatma Gandhi. Company's Conquest 1757 to 1849. We know the English East India Company came to India for trade, but with its superior weapon, it extended its power in the 18th century. You can have a look at the map of India in 1765. The pink color British territory is so less. There is only small portion for East India Company and the rest of is for Indian princes. Indian princes were divided and short-sighted, means they could not see far. Had upstart Raja Ba called the English merchants, they'll help me to defeat him. India was divided in different states and all princes were busy fighting each other. They sought the help of English merchants to defeat each other. People in India had no peace due to constant fights among the states of the country. Rivalries helped the East India Company and it could easily subdue Indian princes one by one. Rivalries means conflict, means fights among these princes, and subdue means get under control, means beat down the Indian princes one by one. But a far-sighted ruler like the brave Tipu Sultan of Mysore fought the British till he died fighting. Means he could see what the Britishers were doing and the whole country India will be soon in their hands. Now Indians reacted to the conquest made by the English company. Some of them thanked God as well as the British for restoring peace in the country and stopping looting. They said their destiny was linked with the English. But there were others who felt unhappy. They complained that the white men had killed or dethroned their kings. No doubt some kings were bad, but after all they were Indians. Under the white rulers they had become slaves. Children, dethrone means to remove from the place. British rule. Religious leaders preached ideas like untouchability and child marriage. It was really the worst condition of society. Anyone who crosses the seas loses his religion. This was superstition. Few religious leaders believed that all the misery in the world is due to the woman. But the truth was that Indians had lost self respect. The white hated and disbelieved them. Means children, Britishers believed that the natives were unworthy of trust, incapable of honest. Still few Indians were in their feet. True your honor, but I am honest. The English were merchants first. Their aim was to make quick profit. In the picture you can see an Indian begging to Britisher, but your men are taking all my crop. Britisher replied, you are still in errors. If you don't pay next week, I'll send you to jail. Means they imposed heavy taxes on the farmers. They sent many farmers to jail for failing to pay their tax errors. They had no pity on Indians, really very cruel. Still, the British invented other methods which gave them more profits. The goods manufactured in England should not have any import duty when brought to India. Whatever good is coming from England will not have to pay any tax. They felt a good idea. The East India Company's laws began to cripple Indian industries. Cripple means to disable, to weaken. Inevitably, famines followed. Between 1822 and 1836, 15 lakh Indians died of starvation. Children, starvation means hunger. Just because of hunger, just because of there was no food to eat, 15 lakh Indians died. The British policies ruined the export artisans and their business. Ram Mohan Roy, a learned man from Bengal, understood what was wrong with the country. Let us not despise ourselves. Our ancient culture is great and we are capable of greater achievements. We must first reform our society. Superstitions have been ruining us. He told his wife Uma, cows are of different colors, but the color of their milk is the same. Different teachers have different opinions, but the essence of every religion is the same. He was attracted by science and modern knowledge. Knowledge should be practical and scientific. He started newspapers, but the suspicious British stopped them in 1823. He crossed the seas and went to England to see what made the British powerful. There he told them, we accept you as rulers and you must accept us as subjects. But you must remember the responsibilities a ruler owes to his subjects. Oppression. Children, British continued to oppress. Oppress means to crush Indians. In 1818, they had passed Regulation 3rd. Under it, an Indian could be jailed without trial in a court. All the time, British officers in India drew big salaries and also made fortunes in private business. By 1829, Britain was exporting British goods worth 7 crore rupees to India. The British prospered on the company's loot while Indian industries began to die. Now, children, machine manufactured goods imported from Britain were sold extensively, which ruined the business of the artisan handmade goods. Governor General Banting reported back home, means he sent the message to England that the bones of cotton weavers are bleaching the plains of India. What does this line means? It means British had been making riches, they had been making prospering over the ruins of the Indian industries. Alright students, I rest my video. This was my first part explanation, and in the second part I'll move the story ahead and I'll tell you what happened after this. And so keep watching, stay safe, thank you, goodbye and have a nice day.